Most people don't fail in retirement because they didn't save enough. They fail because they don't know how much they can safely spend. Spend too much and you risk burning through your savings too fast. Spend too little and you waste your best, healthiest years, years meant for travel, freedom, and making memories. And that's the exact dilemma one couple faced at age 60. They had $1.5 million saved, retirement was just 1 year away, and they had no clear answer to the question, how much can I actually spend without running out of money? In this case study, I'm going to show you how we help them turn their uncertainty into a clear plan, one that gave them a peace of mind, flexibility, and even more income than they even expected. And along the way, I'll share with you the biggest mistakes people make in retirement, especially around Social Security and taxes. And of course, I'm going to show you how to avoid them. For those of you who do not know me, my name's Jeremy. I'm a certified financial planner, and I've been helping people successfully retire for nearly 30 years. Now, before we could go on and build a plan for this couple, we had to first clear away some of the most common traps that holds many retirees back. And chances are you've seen or even worried about some of these yourself. The first mistake people can make is overspending. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of retirement, start withdrawing more from your portfolio than it can handle. In the beginning, that may feel fine, but eventually the math catches up, and that shortfall can be quite painful. The second mistake I see people make is underspending. And what happens here is fear takes over. You save for decades, and you spend far less than you could because you're just simply not used to spending money you've saved. You're used to saving money. And you end up holding back during years of when you're healthy, you have the energy and the opportunities to enjoy your life at its peak. Another mistake I see retirees make is taking unnecessary risk. They worry their money won't last, and so they chase higher returns just to try to make the numbers work. But taking on more risk can often backfire, and when you're retired, you do not have the time or the salary to erase those mistakes. Another mistake is following the wrong strategy. Some retirees get pushed into a one-size-fits-all products, like annuities or life insurance, that don't fit their overall situation. These choices may feel safe in the moment, but they can lock you into rigid plans and limit your flexibility down the road. And this is why, before we crunch any numbers, we step back to get clear on what the couple really wants for their retirement to look like. And then we align the numbers to match the vision. Because without clarity on what they actually want, even the best retirement plans can fall apart. And here's a twist. Once we put the right strategy in place, the safe income number they wanted was $7,000. But they actually could get closer to $8,000 with a potential to grow even higher. And I'll show you exactly how we got to that number in just a moment. Here's what they had. They had $1.5 million spread amongst 401k, traditional IRA, Roth IRA, and joint brokerage account. On the surface, looks pretty good. But the real question wasn't, do we have enough? It was, how do we use it without making a costly mistake? And to answer that, we had to work through two of the biggest and most interconnected retirement decisions that a retiree makes, and that is Social Security and tax planning. For most retirees, Social Security is the biggest guaranteed income stream they'll ever have. But here's the challenge. The timing of when you claim can completely change your financial future. If you claim too early, let's say at age 62, your benefits are permanently reduced. For this couple, claiming early meant a 30% reduction compared to waiting to full retirement age. That's a smaller check for life. And on the other hand, if they delayed to age 70, their benefit would grow by 8% per year after full retirement age. That could mean hundreds of dollars per month, and over a retirement of 25 to 30 years, this difference was over $400,000. So the math says wait. But here's the fear. If you retire at age 61 or 62, you're staring at a huge gap. You have no paycheck, no Social Security benefit, and your healthcare costs aren't covered by Medicare until age 65. Here's the crossroads. If you take Social Security early, you lose income for life. Or if you delay, you got to cover the gap with your savings accounts and your other investments with the hope that the long-term math pays off. Most people just stop there. They freeze. And that's why so many people claim early or work longer than they need to. But for this couple, we ran a break-even analysis. We showed them the exact point where delaying would start paying off for them. And when we factored in their health, their family longevity, and their goals, the answer became clear. Claiming early would solve a short-term fear, but would cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of their lifetime. Delaying, on the other hand, provided them with a guaranteed income later, which meant less reliance on their portfolio income later in life. And this higher benefit was like locking in longevity insurance, which generates inflation-adjusted income they just can't outlive. And that certainty in their 80s and 90s mattered more than the short-term relief of smaller checks of claiming Social Security early. So this decision was made. Delay until at least full retirement age, and if possible, age 70. But of course, that created a new challenge. How do you fund the early years of retirement without draining your savings too fast? And here's where tax planning comes in. Most retirees think tax planning is about minimizing taxes in this year. But the truth is, the danger isn't about what you pay today, it's about what you pay over your lifetime. If this couple simply started withdrawing from their IRA or 401k first, their taxable income would spike immediately, pushing them into higher brackets. But that's not just about more tax. It's also about triggering IRMA surcharges, penalties that can raise your Medicare premiums if your income crosses certain thresholds. For many retirees, that's thousands of dollars a year of unexpected cost. And here's the part that's easy to overlook. The way you withdraw your money in your 60s doesn't affect just today. It sets the stage for the rest of your retirement. So here's what we did. We did a withdrawal sequencing analysis. We mapped out their accounts, balancing taxable, tax-deferred, and tax-free to generate their retirement income. And when we did this kept their income low early in their retirement. This allowed their Social Security to grow for later. This strategy created an opportunity to do Roth conversions. You see, between retirement and into their 70s, they have a window we call the retirement tax valley. Their earned income was gone, Social Security hasn't started yet, and the RMDs weren't required yet. Their taxable income was at the lowest point it will ever be. And that's the perfect time to convert portions of their IRA account to a Roth. Here's what they got by doing that. They locked in today's lower tax rates. They reduced the size of their future RMDs. They lowered the risk for higher Medicare premiums later. And they gave themselves a pool of tax-free money they could use at any time. Now, we tested different conversion amounts. Converting too much in one year would push them into higher brackets, which wasn't very efficient. But converting the right amount each year, it cut their lifetime tax bill by hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here's the bonus. By managing their income carefully, we qualified them for ACA subsidies on their health care before they were able to convert to Medicare at age 65. That move alone saved them $10,000 a year. So tax planning just didn't save them money later, it saved them money right away. This is why retirement isn't just about how much you save, it's about how you use it. The wrong withdrawal sequence can be quite costly, and even more than a bad investment might be. You see, Social Security and tax planning aren't separate, they're two sides of the same coin. The way you draw your money out in your 60s determines whether delaying Social Security may benefit you or hurt you. And for this couple, Getting those two decisions right was the key to unlocking more spending power than they thought was possible. So after all this planning, how much were they able to actually spend? Without a strategy, the safe baseline was about $7,000 a month. It worked, but it felt restrictive compared to the lifestyle they really wanted. With a plan in place, the number jumped up to $8,000 a month. They could retire on time, spend with confidence, and know that the math worked out long term. Now, with the guardrail system in place, even a modest market growth of their investments allowed their plan to push income closer to $9,000 a month. That's the difference between a retirement plan built on fear and one built on strategy and coordination. The key lesson isn't about hitting a magic savings number, it's about making the right decision with the money you've already saved. Social Security, taxes, healthcare, withdrawals, these aren't separate issues, they're all connected. Get them wrong and you can cut your lifestyle short. Get them right and you may discover that you can spend way more than you thought was possible. For this couple, this transformation was simple but powerful. $7,000 of safe spending turned into $8,000 and with the potential to grow to $9,000 a month. More importantly, it gave them a peace of mind, knowing they weren't guessing anymore. They had a plan, and that plan was adjustable. And that's what every retiree deserves, right? It's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet, but the clarity and confidence to be able to live the life you truly want. Now, if you want to know more, check out the free training video I have on the Riverbend Bridge method. The link is in the description, and I'll show you how to connect your Social Security, taxes, and savings into a plan that works for your retirement. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.